لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك والنعمة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. This is As You Answer the Call. I am Rashida Abubakar, your regular anchor, welcoming you to another edition of the program. In continuation of its preparation for the 2025 Hajj exercise, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (NAHCON) convened a meeting with critical stakeholders comprising of Hajj officials from states, the FCT and armed forces. The thrust of the meeting will be the focus of our Spotlight segment. Also in the program is Making the Hajj and other regular segments such as NAHCON News Diary, which highlight the activities of NAHCON and other stakeholders in the Hajj industry. Still coming your way is the announcement of the quiz winner. Keep watching.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The program kicks off with the News Diary. Stay tuned.
On Wednesday this week, the Senate started the process of confirming Professor Abdullahi Usman as the chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (NAHCON).
Of Chairman, National Hajj Commission.
President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, announced this while reading a letter from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu seeking for his confirmation.
I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the appointment of Professor Abdullahi Saleh Usman as Chairman, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. While hoping that the request will receive the expeditious consideration of the Senate, please accept, distinguished Senate President and distinguished Senators, the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The matter was referred to the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs for further legislative action and report back next week.
So the Committee on Foreign Affairs to report back to the Senate in 1 week.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (NAHCON) has invited applications from interested companies in Saudi Arabia wishing to provide accommodation and catering services to Nigerian pilgrims in Mecca and Medina during the 2025 Hajj season. NAHCON yesterday opened the application portal for those wishing to serve the pilgrims. The portal will be closed on the 30th of October 2025. The requirements set for prospective applicants in the accommodation category include submission of copy of valid registration and license for a company, copy of current membership of Chamber of Commerce, valid municipal or Baladiya license, certificate of social insurance, and proof of previous experience such as certificate of satisfactory service to pilgrims in the last 5 years. Others are the building to be provided must be duly registered with Saudi Ministry for Hajj and Umrah, be duly licensed for Hajj season. In the catering category, the requirements are the kitchen must be of international standard, must be duly licensed by the Saudi authority, must be located in a suitable environment, and must be operational. All applications are to be submitted through NAHCON website www.nahcon.gov.ng. The Secretary of Lagos State Pilgrims Welfare Board, Saheed Onipide, has called on intending pilgrims wishing to register with the board for the 2025 Hajj to obtain the Hajj form from its offices across the state. A statement to this effect issued on Wednesday by the board's public relations officer, Mr. Taufik Lawal, says intending pilgrims are to pay 8.5 million naira as initial deposit pending the official announcement of the final fare for the 2025 Hajj by NAHCON. The statement added that intending pilgrims can make installment payment, advising them to raise a bank draft from any commercial bank with Lagos State Pilgrims Welfare Board account. The secretary urged intending pilgrims to make the payments as quickly as possible for effective planning on time.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Alhamdulillah, you are still watching As You Answer the Call, a public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, and other Hajj-related matters. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has continued to interface with stakeholders as it prepares for the 2025 Hajj, having met with the officials of Saudi Ministry for Hajj, tour operators, and other stakeholders. NAHCON on Monday this week also held another round of meeting with officials from state, the FCT, and armed forces. Our Spotlight segment will bring you details of what transpired at the meeting as we continue to highlight the activities of NAHCON towards the 2025 Hajj exercise. Stay with us.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has been engaging stakeholders to ensure effective planning for the 2025 Hajj exercise. NAHCON at different times interfaced with officials from Saudi Ministry for Hajj and Umrah and the leadership of the Association for Hajj and Umrah Operators of Nigeria, HUON. The aim is to sufficiently prepare for the 2025 Hajj operations. In continuation of such engagements, NAHCON management held another round of meeting with executives of State Pilgrims Welfare Boards, the FCT, and the Armed Forces. NAHCON Commissioner of Operation Prince Anofiu Olarewaju Elugushi chaired the meeting, which took place on Monday, the 23rd of this month, at the conference hall of the Hajj House. Issues topping the agenda of the meeting include outcome of the virtual meeting with Saudi Ministry for Hajj and Umrah, allocation of Hajj slots to states, the FCT and armed forces, fixing of 8.4 million naira initial deposit for 2025 Hajj fair, 2025 Hajj calendar of events, and refund for services not rendered.
We would like to report the outcome of our meeting with the Saudi authority. We would like to tell you the new policies that they want us to comply with. And firstly, they mentioned the issue of our slots. So, which they let us know that they have reinstated our 95,000 slots. So, and as you know, 20,000 will go for the tour operators. So the rest 75,000 will go for the rest stakeholders. And I think slots have been given through a letter. I think everybody has been picking their letter.
The Commissioner called on states to reach out to NAHCON for any observations related to slot allocation for adjustment. He then disclosed to the gathering the Saudi new policy on accommodation and feeding in Medina, Mecca, and Mashair.
The issue of accommodation and feeding, both in Mecca and Medina. So they are coming up with a policy to take it over, which was argued, and at the end of the day, they asked us to just put it aside. I will come back to it because we told them we have to discuss it with our major stakeholders. Because we can't just accept without, discussing with our stakeholders. So they intend Their intention is to give both accommodation and feeding in both Medina, Mecca now and Mina to the Mutawif.
On the deposit for the 2025 Hajj fair, the meeting approved 8.4 million naira for each intending pilgrim.
And as some of you have already mentioned figures that either close or tally would be thinking of NAHCON, because our own initial deposit is 8,400,000. That's our own initial deposit, and going through the media, the publication and all, is all what the state are mentioning is within 8.5 million, 8.4, still within that region. So that's why I said I thank you for being very proactive to mention that figure. So the initial deposit is 8,400,000. That would be the initial deposit. So for some of us that have not made mention any figure, we can go ahead and do such.
The meeting reiterated the commitment to ensure that visas for the 2025 Hajj are issued ahead of the commencement of the operations, as was the case during the 2024 Hajj. Speaking on behalf of the Forum of State Executives, the Director, FCT Pilgrims Welfare Board, Malam Abubakar Adamu Evuti, highlighted the resolutions of the Forum adopted at its meeting held a day before.
The meeting deliberated on several issues, especially those related to Hajj 2024 and upcoming Hajj 2025. The meeting observed as follows. 1. The meeting observed with commendation the concerted efforts of all stakeholders, especially NAHCON, state and tour operators, in planning and implementation of strategies towards successful 2025 Hajj operation.
Other key demands of the forum are review of Hajj savings scheme, review of the recruitment process and welfare of the national medical team, and refund for services not rendered in 2023 Hajj.
The forum urged all stakeholders, especially NAHCON, state and tour operators, to sustain the current tempo in order to consolidate on and surpass the tremendous achievement recorded in 2024 Hajj. Number 2, the forum as a major critical stakeholder should be part and parcel of all decisions and activities as it affects the offshore exercises, especially the Medina operations in all ramifications. Number 3, that despite numerous reminders sent by the forum to the Commission through its leadership, NAHCON is yet to refund state for the services not rendered in 2023 Hajj. The meeting therefore urged the Commission to offset these liabilities since they have lingered longer than necessary.
In an interview, Secretary to the Commission, Dr. Abdullahi Rabiu Kwantagora gives an insight on the meetings with the states, the FCT, and the armed forces.
The meeting we had with them yesterday, I think, is the 4th meeting. We had the first one, and then another one, physical, and then we had one online, and then that of yesterday. It was the 4th one. Generally, is to follow, to find out what progress we have made with regard to the calendar event, and those things that we actually want the Nigerians to know, the information that we have to roll out to Nigerians so that we can start collecting this Hajj fare as expected, because it has not been easy announcing the Hajj fare as we actually planned, because the Commission had a plan when we came back to announce this Hajj fare early, but then considering the volatility of dollar, it has become virtually impossible.
Dr. Kwantagora said NAHCON has its formula for determining what number of Hajj slots goes to a given state.
Of course, you look at the population of the pilgrims from that state, and then you also look at performance. That is what was given to it last year, and what was the performance. If you have been given 5,000 and you brought 4,000, you see that 4,000 is the performance, 5,000 is the allocation. So we look at it. We use performance, and we also use a population. Virtually, if you look at the population of pilgrims in Nigeria, you find out that Kano and Kaduna the states that normally have more pilgrims than all other states.
On the refund for services not rendered, the Secretary said NAHCON is still pursuing the matter with the service providers, saying that the Commission is yet to receive the refund from Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. Neither has there been any explanation.
We are also seeking for clarification from the Ministry of Hajj. They deposited some money into on the NAHCON account, which is of course refund, but no clarification. No clarification. That is to say, if you are depositing money as refund, you should be able to say that this refund is for so services, so that by the time you come to give back to the pilgrims, you now know, you tell them that this refund is in respect of so service which was not rendered. So that one was paid by the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. So it's not refund from the service provider. It's not that same refund which we have been seeking or which we have been fighting for. Yes, we expect that one to come too anytime. But at least this one is from the ministry. The ministry is refunded this one, which has not been distributed to the state, because you can't distribute without having the details.
While waiting for the refund, NAHCON is working harmoniously with the service providers to ensure that all services paid for are rendered as planned. Overall, NAHCON and stakeholders have agreed to launch a massive public awareness campaign to educate potential pilgrims about the requirements and procedures for the 2025 Hajj, particularly with regards to timely payment of Hajj fare. Nigerian delegation is expected to be in Saudi Arabia early next year for the signing of MOUs and subsequent signing of agreements with service providers. As planning for the 2025 Hajj continues, further meetings and updates are expected to fine-tune strategies to deal with emerging challenges.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
MashaAllah, the program is As You Answer the Call. Next in our lineup is Making the Hajj. Stay tuned.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
Why did Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam stone Satan?
And why Satan? Because our grandfather Abraham alayhi salatu wasalam stoned Satan for his mischievousness in trying to pollute and dilute and of course also change his mind towards obedience. That's why he was stoned. And that's why it became a sunnah today for a pilgrim also to be there and stone the Satan. Of course we should be careful. People will go there and be using their shoes, be using their cursing as if they are seeing the Satan. I pray that it will not be the Satan, because if you misbehave there, as Satan has misbehaved, then probably that person also is the Satan. So we should be careful. We should do it according to the teaching of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which was exactly the teaching of his grandfather, Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam.
When are pilgrims enjoined to go for Jamarat pelting in the course of the Hajj?
It is on tents you execute the content of stoning. So in leaving Muzdalifah, as commanded by the Quran, وَإِذَا أَفَدْتُم مِّنْ عَرَفَاتٍ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ عِندَ الْمَشْعَرِ الْحَرَامِ فَاذْكُرُوهُ كَمَا هَدَاكُمْ وَإِن كُنتُم مِّن قَبْلِهِ لَمِنَ الضَّالِينَ ثُمَّ أَفِيضُوا مِنْ حَيْثُ أَفَاضَ النَّاسُ. If you flow down from Arafah, that is on the 9th, and you spend the nights in Muzdalifah, on the 10th also you flow to Muna for the Jamrat, that is on the 10th. It is only the Jamratul Aqaba, the biggest Jamra, the one that is going to face you when you are coming from Muzdalifah. That is the only one you are going to stone on the 10th. You make your stoning with 7 pedals. 1, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, 7. That ends your program of that day.
The practice is for pilgrims to only stone the largest of the 3 Jamarats on the 10th of Zulhijjah. How are they expected to carry on in the remaining days?
On the 11th day, that is Ayyamut Tashriq, you are going to commence your stoning from the Sugra, which is the closest to Muzdalifah that you actually came from yesterday. You make the 7, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar 7 times, and then you go to the wusta, Bismillah Allahu Akbar, Bismillah Allah Akbar 7 times, and you go to the that is Jamtul Akbar, which is the Kubra, 7 times, as you did yesterday. And then the 12th day also, you start from the Sugra, Wusta, and Jamtul Akbar. And then if you are opportune to stay till the 13th day, you are allowed to go on the 12th, and you can delay to the 13th. Now those who are to delay 13th also must make sure they do the same process of stoning the 3 Jamrat.
If a pilgrim is constrained by health and other challenges and unable to do the Jamarat pelting, can such a pilgrim delegate someone?
And the process of delegation is that if you are delegated, you have to start with your own stoning first. You don't start with somebody's own first. After making your 7 pedal stone, then you can stone the person you are stoning on his behalf in the first session. You don't need to finish your own before you start the other person. No. When you stone your own, and you have to stone for 2 people or 1, then you say Bismillah with the intention of your stoning for Amina. Then you stone the 7. And let you assume also you are stoning for Ishaq. Then you make the stoning for Ishaq after that of Amina 7. Then you move to the second station. Then you stone your own. Then you stone for Amina. Then you stone also for Ishaq.
How are supplications observed during the pelting?
If you make the first stoning on the 11th, you are expected to leave some distance, some gap, and raise up your hands and pray. When you make the second stoning too, you raise up your hand and you pray. When you do the last stoning, which is Jamrat al-Akbar, in the first day, you don't make any supplication.
Alhamdulillah, now it's time to know the winner of last week's quiz and the question for this week. Good luck.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, name the 2 orphans who offered the land where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam erected his mosque. The correct answer is Sahal and Suhail. The winner is Salau Suleiman from Lagos State. He provided the answer ahead of others. Salau Suleiman will be contacted on how NAHCON will reach him with the prize he won. The quiz winner will get 25,000 Naira cash prize. This is part of NAHCON's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week, and the question is, name the 2 prophets whose history is associated with the symbolic pelting of the Jamrat. Again, name the 2 prophets whose history is associated with the symbolic pelting of the Jamrat. Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing.
Once again, good luck to you. Up next are your messages.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
Jamilu Shehu sent the first message from our Facebook page. It reads, "We thank Allah for witnessing another Hajj season. May Allah make it easy for us to pay for the Hajj." Also from our Facebook page, Muhammad Abdul Rauf sent in the second message. It reads, "We pray to Allah to guide NAHCON as preparations for the 2025 Hajj gets underway."
The message segment ends this week's edition of the program. See you same time, same day next week with another edition of the program. But before we go, remember that you can send your messages, comments, observations and questions through our mobile phone number and other social media platforms. Once again, thanks for watching. Ma'assalam.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا